Hello, YouTube. This is the Galley La Podcast with your host, Akainu Fanboy, and Geboss is that other guy. And we are going to be talking about One Piece chapter 1065 of the manga. So, spoiler and all that jazz. Like, subscribe if you care about us in any way, shape, or form, or just ignore this and just will become irrelevant per usual. Anyways, but let's just talk about, first off, One Piece film Red color spread. Very dope. G Boss just saw the movie. I'm going to be seeing it shortly, and hopefully we'll have a review of it up soon for all of you wonderful people.
I have
Uh,
lots to say about it.
that you do. So without you giving any spoilers, just what do you think of the color spread?
um, I like it. Um, I'm not gonna say much about it because I'm not gonna say much about it, but I do like I do like it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, so I had some thoughts right here where so we have Usopp and Yasop kind of matching each other, which makes sense, right? Um, I
Mm-hmm.
did find interesting was Frankie getting paired up with let's see, I believe his name is Building Snake.
Okay.
If you were to kind of like match him, um, Building Snake was matched up with Burgess, Marineford when they had the face off between the red hair pirates and the Blackbeard pirates.
Okay.
Um, which I find interesting because a lot of people speculate that Frankie's gonna fight San Juan Wolf. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that was just kind of a thought there
Okay.
because I think it's fair to say that the Yasop was matched up with Burgess, so Usopp's gonna fight Burgess. I mean, sorry, Van Augur. Sorry. So Usopp, as a result, will fight Van Augur. Um, Ben Beckman was matched up with Shuri of the Rain, so Zoro will probably fight Shuri of the Rain, and so that's kind of the logic I'm going off of there.
Okay.
Um, so I thought that was kind of interesting. Any thoughts on that point right there?
Um, I can't say.
Okay.
I can't say anything.
All right. Would you say Nami? Oh, and then kind of another thought. Nami and Lime Juice seem to be kind of mirroring one another too, which I kind of thought was interesting.
So,
Um,
so this does have some relevance to the movie.
okay.
I will say that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, then oddly enough, yeah, seeing Sanji paired up with
Yeah.
Oven, I'm
I,
just gonna take a guess they fight of the movie,
I,
but I just kind of
I,
thought that was interesting.
I think that you're maybe reading a little too much into it. That's all I'm gonna
Yeah.
say.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Usopp Yasop ability snake thing, Frankie. I thought that was just interesting. Uh, Kobe and Zoro being in the same panel means Kobe is on par with Zoro. And then, yeah, that's really about it from what I can tell there.
You,
But
you
I
and
don't know, cool.
you and your Kobe fanboyisms.
Oh, maybe I think lowly of Kobe's power. That's why I'm making that comparison, So,
Oh yeah, because you think lowly of Zoro too.
so, anyway, starting the chapter. We see our beloved Zoro in the first panel having a little funny back and forth with Caribou. Yeah, sorry, blanking on his name. Yeah, so I don't know. Him and Zoro always have like cool, funny exchanges and everything, and it's funny how he gets dropped off on an island potentially where he's gonna get captured by the world government, and maybe Oda's kind of telling us that a lot of the secrets from Caribou are going to be exposed to the world government with Shirahoshi. I don't know. I know that we have that whole thing with Kaido and the Beast Pirates, but just kind of a thought there.
Well, I think that Caribou might also find out more stuff about the island because I think we're gonna get a lore dump on some stuff based on the end of the chapter. But yeah, I think that I don't know why Oda had him as why was he? I don't remember. Was he a stowaway or did they take him with them?
Pretty sure he was a stowaway. I don't see
Okay.
any reason why they take him. kind of like the Chekhov's gun right now because just kind of the gun on the table that's getting ready to be used because he has all this information, right?
Yeah.
And
Well,
obviously.
Yeah. Well, he does say, I know our deal was to drop me off anywhere away from Wano. But I don't remember him saying that, but maybe I'm just misremembering.
Yeah. Well, I mean, kind of, Wano was pretty rushed, too, so maybe it was off-screen.
Yeah.
But, so, yeah, him as being Chekhov's gun, I think it's kind of fascinating because basically I can see him spilling all these secrets to either Blackbeard or the world government at this point because those are, like, the two last foes of the series, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Kid? Maybe? I don't know. I guess that's a third possibility, but yeah, so... Yeah, Oda kind of implying, like, yeah, he's probably going to get captured here. But we'll see. Then next section right here, we get to see more of the scenic route of all the cool tech of Egghead Island and the virtual doors. And so, yeah, just... I don't know, it's kind of cool to see, like, just Nami, like, attacking Usopp and just, I don't know, seeing this part of the crew together with one another. I did enjoy it,
I thought that it was interesting that Lilith was talking about, like, the whole island runs on fire, and that she wants, like, an eternal flame, and that she wants a sun. So I'm wondering if that has anything to do, potentially, with Nika in any way.
Yeah.
I don't know how Luffy could, like, give, like, perpetual energy, but it's another, like, sun connection. We're always on our eyes out for any sun symbolism or mentions now.
Like the flames of the Seraphim and the which are linked to the Lunarians, and Lunarians are linked to Sun God Nika, right? And then also we see this Jinbei Seraphim with flames, right?
Yeah.
So there could be another sun connection there, and he looked cool. It was kind of a surprise. I mean, like, not like a big surprise, but I was like, oh, whoa, this is happening right already.
Yeah.
It's kind of, so basically they heavily imply he's not a full power yet, essentially. Like, he was just recently created.
Yeah, well, actually, if you look at the 2-page spread where he first appears, it says, like, Seraphim 04, and above it says 98%. So, yeah. But yeah, it's interesting because, I mean, all we've seen is Mihawk and Hancock's fighting. So this one we actually get to see that they somehow got Senor Pink's power on this Seraphim Jinbei. So
they went full Blackbeard on Senior Pink off screen.
Well, I want to have a discussion about that. So is this going to be like is this going to be because Vegapunk was able to, like, duplicate Kaido's fruit. So is this just a copy of the fruit? Because he would have had access to Senor Pink through Doflamingo.
Also, they're all in prison right now, too.
Are they all arrested?
They all got arrested at the end of Dressrosa.
I don't know if Senor Pink was let go or not, or... Probably not, but yeah, that's also how they could have. But yeah, if they're able to, like, get devil fruits onto these pacifists as well, because I mean, he might not even have, like, the he just might be able to recreate an aspect of it, like he's Vegapunk's able to recreate the laser from Kizaru.
Yeah, good point. Yeah.
So I thought that was an interesting development.
But it kind of seems like he got the fullness of Senior Pink's fruit, though.
Yeah. I mean, how do you, like, parcel out that technique?
Yeah. Right. I guess you could say Logia as you can get it fully. I don't know. That's an interesting conversation, I guess, right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hermes says it kind of seems like a one-and-done deal.
Mm-hmm.
So no, yeah, it was cool. I liked his design and everything. Seeing Nami actually get hurt was actually a rare occurrence, and our boy Sanji moves in and gets a nice good kick in. You think that's his new type of flame? I had a hard time with the panel.
I don't think so, because I think with Ifrit Jambe, it was he had like electricity coming off of it.
Yeah.
So, hold on, let me check something. I don't know if this is the translation or not, but so usually when they translate stuff, they don't, the fan translations don't tend to translate the sound effects, but it seems like a lot of the sound effects in terms of the seraphim are kind of translated with English next to them. I don't know whether that's just, I don't know. I just saw that while I was reading through it again.
Yeah, it was interesting to see the star in his eye too, which kind of matches the other seraphim and everything.
Yeah.
That seems to be a distinguishing feature from like your typical pacifista. It was kind of cool to see Sanji and Nami like be like, okay, you're done for, you
mean Robin?
Sorry. Yeah. Sorry, Sanji, right? Yeah, just going like, you're done for. We're gonna attack you. And Jinbei Seraphim seems pretty tough though. Like taking a hit from like Sanji and Robin, and Usopp. You think it would like do at least like show some pain, but it doesn't really seem to be much in the way of pain though.
And a radical beam.
Oh yes. Yeah, he looks relatively unscathed.
Yeah.
Which is kind of wild to think about it. You have a good majority of the Straw Hats here, and they're having this much of a difficulty with it. But what do you think of let's see the rest of Vegapunk's clones, and then we're starting with Flare.
Well, Edison is the name.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what were your thoughts of Edison?
So, I'm kind of confused about, like, it says Flare above it, but I think they translated it to, like, according to the wiki, it's embodying the aspect of thinking. So I think he's the one that comes up with the ideas.
Okay. Like the data cruncher,
Well, he's like, oh, I thought about a new invention and everything. I'm just thinking about whether or not when Vegapunk did this, it was to like do the things that he doesn't really want to in his daily life or whatever, because it seems to affect, when one thing happens to one clone, it happens to all of them.
Yeah.
Like with the going to York, it's like she's the one that does all the resting, eating, and going to the bathroom. So if that's the case, then she doesn't, that could take away from the time that Vegapunk has to spend on that. So that's what I took away from that. But I'm not sure exactly what Pythagoras and Edison specifically, because those seem like to do a lot of the thinking and work. So
Lilith tends to kind of come off from a managerial standpoint, though. Like, oh, look at how much this costs, how much energy we're going to put in here. Kind of like, looking at all the numbers, like accounting, managing, things like that. That's kind of the vibe. And then, also like the motivator, too, at the same time. So, those scenes, because you see her worrying about the cost of the Seraphim again. You don't really see that as much with the other Vegapunk clones.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, they're definitely interesting. Oda seems to be putting a lot of focus on them, and I wouldn't say it's rushed. I did like how they kind of like drop them all in one chapter and not keep on spreading it out and everything, but it was kind of interesting to how quickly we got introduced them all, you know?
Yeah.
It's usually not Oda's style to do it like this quickly, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I'm fine with it.
Oh, I am too. Yeah.
But I think it's interesting because they where was it? They mentioned something about the lineage factors.
Yes.
Do you have anything to say about that? I'm trying to find where it was.
Right. So I think I had a couple thoughts there. So obviously the lineage, probably genetic component when it comes to the Seraphim and the Lunarians. Which I kind of think part of the reason why the Jinbei Seraphim didn't really take much in the way of damage is because they had that regenerative aspect, you know, that King had, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Then I also thought a lineage factor in regard to Sanji and the Vinsmokes too. We're not really entirely sure with Sanji and the flames and all that stuff. How does that manifest and everything? But just think about his brothers and all this stuff where there was like something specially modified about his genetics as well too. So yeah, just from the Lunarians and the Vinsmokes, and then obviously they both have a connection to Vegapunk. Now it's probably going to be like connected further within the Seraphim. But those were kind of my general thoughts there, you know.
Yeah. So I found the thing. It said the Seraphim's attack patterns have continued to develop as it grows. That suggests that one's lineage factor really does store some of our recollections and capabilities. So I guess it's kind of like I don't want to compare it to it because it's such a bad one, but kind of like in Naruto, where it's revealed in the end that like Naruto and Sasuke are kind of like the reincarnations of past important people that, and it's been who cares? Naruto ended like 7 years ago or whatever. But it's I don't want to get on a rant about Naruto, but
Okay.
But it's kind
of par for the course for this channel.
Yeah. But I guess it's kind of like that, where it's kind of like passing down that type of like will, and you can kind of see it with like Ace and Sabo, kind of. But they also specifically mentioned like fighting capabilities because this the Jinbei Seraphim fights like Jinbei, like he's throwing water, he's using it looks like he's using some karate techniques.
Yeah.
So and he's like naturally swimming through the floor with his power. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what Oda does with the lineage factor, because that seems to be more of a important component that he's bringing into, because it's been in Whole Cake now, it's been in Wano, and now it's in this. So
yeah, I guess when I think lineage, and I could be wrong, but it's just me, I guess, what I just see it more as like a genetic type of thing, and I guess it could have a relation with willpower, but I also see willpower as like something that's more like a spiritual thing, even within the context of One Piece, you know. I guess you could say they can kind of interact with one another too, you know. It's not like explicitly spiritual. We haven't really gotten into much. Well, I guess there are strictly spiritual parts in the show because there are souls, you know, with like Big Mom. And Brooke and all that, and Moria with the shadows, you know, so there is like a lot of spiritual aspects of the show. I'm wondering if like maybe someone's hockey could be transformed in a way, with the lineage also.
You just want Sanji to get conquerors through lineage factor.
Yeah, let's go. Well, I mean, the way like Conqueror's hockey is kind of like passed down. If you have a dad with Conqueror's hockey, you're probably gonna have it. Whether it's like Ace, Luffy, the list goes on, right? But I guess what I kind of find interesting though is just actually, yeah, with the Senior Pink thing, I guess really they just needed some of his DNA to get the fruit when you think about it, because with Jinbei they just needed some of his DNA to get the his whole body, right? So
yeah,
I guess it can apply to that too,
I'm just wondering if like lineage factor has anything to do with like devil fruits and how like people kind of know how to kind of use their power. Like it's ingrained into them at that point, but that's just getting into speculation territory.
It's kind of hard to break down the metaphysics of One Piece.
Yeah.
The relationship of body and soul and hylomorphic, all that stuff. But it's just like there's definitely there's two distinct categories of the spiritual and the physical in this.
Yeah.
World, Oda hasn't parsed it out.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, Zoro wants to be the king of hell.
Mm-hmm.
And he met the Grim Reaper, which isn't going to probably... I don't know if that's going to play into it at any point. It probably will.
I completely forgot about that. Oh my gosh. Oh shit.
No, it's fine.
Wow. Oh god.
Yeah, spoilers.
The pill of the Grim Reaper.
Spoilers, it's not in film red. But
oh my gosh, wow. Like pill and the Grim Reaper. Honestly, that was some of the worst moments in the entire show. Anyways, I don't want to get on it.
That's for our Act 3 review.
You just brought that back into my memory and I hate you for it. So so let's get to the last section.
Yeah.
So first thought, Toki. Island of the Past. Void Century. Maybe she brought all this here. That's how I kind of see it.
So the way that I thought about it was that, I mean, Egghead was just kind of built on the old kingdom, and that's probably why Vegapunk has more technology. Well, no, because Frankie visited his homeland, which isn't near here. But yeah, we're getting, so it turns out that like all this future stuff was the normal for the past ancient kingdom. So that it kind of explains how they're gonna regret not doing the NL cover story, because that explains like the automatons, and it could potentially, like, if they were advanced enough, they could have had space travel, the dreaded space travel in One Piece. But well, seeing this rusted out giant, my first thought was oars, just because of the helmet.
Yeah.
But it doesn't seem big enough. But yeah, but 900 years was before the Void Century. So,
and we don't know how old Toki is. I mean, if that were to be it, though.
Yeah,
and like the only character that could, transfer stuff into the future.
Well, I don't think that this stuff would be transferred into the future. I think it's, I think that just based on how old it seems in the pictures, it's not, it's like been there for a long time. So I think these are like original remnants.
I think some of the current tech was transported from the past. It's like actually functioning. Some of it was left over. So why? Because he puts an emphasis, this is an island of the past, kind of like it's still the past right now, in a way. there's something that was carried over. I guess it could be translation or something like that, but I guess like that's kind of how I interpreted the panel. I could be completely wrong on that, which I'm fine, you know. Uh, like there had to have been maybe something living connecting that time period with this time period, I guess, you know. Um, in terms of just like a living type of technology and stuff, a code, if you will. And we don't know how old Vegapunk is either. There's also that aspect. So maybe he may just be the living component, you know?
I don't know. But yeah, I just think that when he says this is an island of the past, it means that like this is what like he says, long ago there was a highly advanced kingdom, not unlike Egghead when it comes to technology. So I think he's just relating it to the, like saying, oh, this is what an island of the past would have looked at like at the time. That's my interpretation of the line.
Okay. Yeah, no. That was just I did kind of find, actually there was something that did kind of stick out to me with this. This is going all the way back to Jaya, but we had our little analysis review a couple months ago having to do with Jaya and his connections with Joy Boy, but I was remembering Bellamy's speech in regard to the New Age, where he said the era of dreams is over because, like, discovering more of the world, we have better science and stuff, like dreams, gods, religion, all this kind of stuff. Like, we don't need it anymore. You know, we have like the power in ourselves and the technology in ourselves and everything, right? And everything. Which is kind of like, you see an irony at place here, because kind of the ancient old history that's linked to dreams and the laugh tale and all this stuff was actually a lot more advanced than what Bellamy thinks that he has in terms of power in the New Age at that time, you know? So you kind of have this obsession with the future and the New Age and, like, you know, we're like advancing and all this stuff, but really kind of the truth and the pinnacle of the series is in the past. And it's kind of like the show is trying to get back to the past in a way, you know, where that was kind of like the peak of the One Piece world. And now, and then it kind of, after the Void Century, it went down to like the dumps, basically, you know, with the destruction of the D's and everything, you know, if that makes sense. But I don't know, that was just kind of what stuck out to me here, you know, like, maybe you could see it as like a type of fall in a way, like you're like in the garden. Like, I know there's like a lot of religious themes being presented lately, but I was kind of thinking where they had everything in the Garden of Eden and everything, and then they were kind of banished. Now, like, in a way, the story goes, they're trying to get back to that original point, you know? And in a similar way, I kind of see that too. Before the Void Century, there was like this insanely powerful, perfect kingdom, and now they're kind of like at a worse point, you know, even though they're farther along in the future, basically, you know? So that's kind of a connection I'm seeing here, you know? So I don't know if you had any thoughts on that in particular, but that's just kind of what stuck out to me.
No, I think that you you hit it pretty well.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's kind of, because you think like Vegapunk as a scientist, he'd be like future, kind of like how Frankie is, right? He's like, no, I'm just kind of like bringing back what's from the past. You know?
Yeah.
Kind of like a reverence for tradition and your ancestors and stuff, you know? I'll kind of like, I just watched Frankenstein recently, you know, where he's so focused on like pushing beyond nature and trying to create science away from morality, then he creates a monster and all this stuff. Vegapunk's kind of like not a mad scientist at all, even though he's kind of been portrayed that way. He kind of wants to help humanity for the sake of it, and not like trying to use his genius just to like show how he can even defy nature, right? You know, he kind of wants to restore nature, not like just create an abomination for the sake of creating an abomination, which is kind of what the world government wants him to do, you know?
Yeah. I just think that he's that's literally just more advanced than current. I think that's why he's trying to get back to it.
Yeah. But he doesn't seem to like have it. He's not doing it for his own ego or power or anything, you know?
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, and I guess you could say in a way the Seraphim may end up being his creature Frankenstein when you think about it. Gonna be things that might turn on him in the end. Right? The world government and everything, you know? Because, like, he does take pride in it as he's, like, speaking through Lilith and everything, right? He likes the Seraphim and everything. But these things in the near future are going to destroy his whole work. So there could be, like, an irony of that, too, coming up shortly, you know?
Maybe.
Yeah. Then I could be completely wrong. Maybe they're loyal to him. But yeah, anyways, I spoke enough. But those are kind of my general thoughts of the chapter, though. I enjoyed it, you know. I wish we had some more Law of Blackbeard and everything, but it's a thought there.
Yeah. I don't think that we're going to see the end of that played out, unless he cuts back to it next chapter.
Yeah. But any closing thoughts on it?
No. Go see Film Red. That's about it.
Sweet. Yeah, and I will do that. Zoro equals Kobe in terms of his strength. But anyways, like and subscribe, do all that jazz, and we'll see you all soon.
See ya.